Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Wednesday, March 2nd, and my job starts today at 11:30. I will ask for your prayers and good thoughts at the end of this concerning that job, and I'll explain why. Oh, nose running today. Okay. I was off work yesterday, so I did do some stitching. Worked more on the Viking piece, and hopefully I'll be done in a few days. This is by my darling Plum on Etsy. Now it's crooked because I put the fabric in the Q-snap crooked, so let me just hold it. But yeah, so I was able to get the wording done and then start on the Viking's beard. Now this all gets filled in. I outlined it. This all gets filled in with that one color. So now I just have to fill it in, and then I can get to his face and then his helmet, and I will be done. Yeah, it's turning out very well. I was listening to some podcasts yesterday when I was working on it, and I managed to get, you guys know how I love the Color in Cotton 20 count Aida. Someone messaged me, I want to say her name is Denise. She messaged me on Instagram and said that Color in Cotton had some grab bags for sale. So I went and bought one. Now I can get any count Aida in there, 14, 16, 18, or 20. I took a chance. You get 3 pieces for $12.95, I think, or $12.50. And the pieces are like 8 by 12 or something. Just something to try. We'll see, right? I am getting another Seraphim Fabrics order in the mail today, so I will be showing you guys that in tomorrow's video. So today's talking point, I'm almost done my book. I'm almost done the brain damage book. It's pretty good. What was like the twist in it, I wasn't expecting. So yeah, I only have like, I think 15 or 20 more pages to read. So I'll probably finish that tonight. So today's talking point, this is something amazing that I saw on Facebook this morning. So here is a stitched piece. Okay, I'm going to show you the piece. Okay, so you see the initials and the year in the, is it the right? Yes. The right-hand corner, it says 1978, right? Okay. So, wait a minute, I'm trying not to shake the tripod. Okay. So, this woman named Lisa had posted in a group that said, I went thrifting this afternoon with my best friend and noticed this old needlework in one of the booths. I was shocked because I always put my initials and the year on every piece that I made as a wedding gift. My best friend even confirmed my signature because the one I made for her is similarly signed. The person that saw this, they stitched it. They said this was probably one of my very first pieces. I couldn't afford the $40 price. There was a $40 price tag on it, so I didn't get to take it home with me. I also know I didn't spend much on the frame as I was only 17 when I made it. And whoever posted this again said this owner of the store ended up giving her the piece. Can you imagine you stitched something? Now, I don't know if that was like this year. I feel like it was. So if the person was 17 in 1978, I mean, they're a good age now, right? Can you imagine seeing the first piece you ever stitched for someone in a thrift shop? I think I would fall over. Like, that had to have been such a shock. And what an amazing thing, though, that she is now able to have it back in her own possession. So have you ever come across something like this? Have you ever had something like this happen to you? Give me your best, like, cool cross-stitch story if you have one down below. So a couple people commented and they said, I gave my husband's grandmother a cross-stitched piece one year for Christmas. When they had his grandparents' auction for personal reasons, we didn't go to the auction. So the grandparents must have passed and they had, I guess, a house auction. Fast forward a few months, I was in our local thrift store and found the framed piece I had given her. I was unsure whether to laugh with joy or cry with anger and sadness, so I brought it home and had it reframed, and I proudly have it hanging in our home today. I guess I would be happy that I was able to have it back in my possession. I don't know. Someone says they have a different attitude about old pieces going to Goodwill. The original owner basically passed it on rather than toss it in the dumpster, and they will eventually have a nice home again. That's a good way to think about it. But someone else commented under that person's post and said, as a volunteer at a thrift store, probably 1/3 of the donations go straight into the dumpster. It says most of them are straight trash, which are stained clothes, broken dishes, single shoes, but also that stuff that won't sell, like cross-stitch, customized anything, or paintings. Oh, that's a little bit heartbreaking, right? Someone said, not long ago, I went into a small thrift store in town. I have lived here for 20 years. A cross-stitch caught my eye and my heart jumped, and I said to myself, that is mine. How did it get here? What? I must have left it behind somehow when I moved. Anyway, I picked it up, and sure enough, it was my initials. The lady gave it back to me. That's amazing. Now, I know when I was living in Hagerstown back in the early 2000s and broke. I mean, broke as a motherfucking joke. I had stitched all of the Celtic ladies from Lavender and Lace, or I'd stitched the 4 that were out, spring, summer, autumn, Noel. And I'd framed them all. And I sold them all in one big lot. And I think I only sold them each for like $50. I mean, that's an insane price because it took me 4 months to stitch them. But just desperate, like I needed money to pay bills. And I think I would just keel over if, now I didn't sign the pieces, so I don't think I'd be able to tell if they were mine. But I have a picture of them and the fabric and stuff like that. So I think I would just knock me over with a feather, right? So someone else says, not long ago, I went to visit a friend's family and noticed in a corner an Afghan I had crocheted for the friend's wedding. It was on the floor and the dog was using it as a bed. From the looks of it, the dog had been enjoying it more than the family. I had had some hurt feelings over this, but resolved it with the dog needs a nice bed to sleep on. Yeah, that's touchy when you stitch something for someone. And I always remember a story that my friend Pat tells when we go to retreats. She had stitched like this really nice wedding sampler for her sister, and her sister just keeps it in the closet because it doesn't match her decor or something. Someone said, I had an old family friend I called my aunt make me 2 Afghans for our first baby. We lost him after 4 months in the NICU due to complications from extreme prematurity. I buried him in one of the Afghans. It meant so much to me to have that beautiful heart-made piece swaddling him, and I'd do it again, but I think my aunt was hurt and disappointed. I do understand, but I don't think she ever stood what it meant to me. I would get that. And she made them too, so maybe you can keep the other one, you know. Someone said, I have done cross-stitch, needlepoint, and knitting for many years. I have given most of it away. Most are appreciative and some not. My nephew refused this one I did in 2020 for him and his wife, said he didn't need stuff. Each of these pieces costs in excess of $300, and they look like Chinese symbols. I don't know. I think there's a way, if you don't like something somebody wants to give you, there's a tactful way to maybe say that. And yeah, a bunch of people commented about how they have gifted, and yeah. Okay. But I loved that story. I really did. I mean, yeah, that woman must have been just so shocked. All right, so let's look at some more OMG moments. Okay, so this is OMG for me for 2 reasons. One, it's a Heaven and Earth Designs. Like I said, I will always be like about those pieces. And second, how they braided their floss, because they are a parker, so they park their threads, and how they braided it, I was just like, it just looks so cool. So this is by Alison Royal, and she is stitching Amy Stewart's Quick Stitch Once Upon a Time, and she is at the halfway point. Okay, so here is the stitched piece, and look how she braided the floss. Oh, can you even? Isn't it pretty? Oh, the Heaven and Earth designs, I'm always floored by them. And I will forever be floored by them. Okay, this next one is by Suzanne Staffa, and it's Mirabilia's Mermaids of the Deep. Gorgeous. The frame is gorgeous. Lots of beads. Holy hell. Look at the beads on that one. I love the fabric they chose. It looks like water. Tons and tons of beads, but the beads pop on that fabric. The frame is perfect too. Really gorgeous. Okay, so remember I told you yesterday, anything can fall under OMG moments for me, because anything I see in these groups that are like, yeah, this guy makes stuff from recycled cardboard boxes, paper bags, and glue. When you see this, I was like, how in the world? Let me click on it so it's a bigger picture. Recycled paper bags and cardboard. Are you kidding me right now? Look at that lion's mane. How do you even know you can do this or try it? And you know it took this guy a long time to get to this point, right? But oh my God, can you even? I saw that and my mouth fell open. I was just like, there are so many creative, amazing people in this world doing stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to show you two more, and then we're going to do motivational, inspirational story, and then that will be it, besides unfucking ourselves, right? Okay, so someone stitched this piece from Artisy called No Place Like Home. It's Stacy Corey. It reminds me of the grandparents in the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. 87 colors, 76,500 stitches. Holy moly. Look at that. Doesn't it remind you of the grandparents in Willy Wonka? It did for me. Some dedication there to stitch something like that. And then finally for today, Tia is stitching Stained Glass Heroes from Z Anna on Etsy. She's doing 2/1 10 stitch on 25 count easy grid. And she is at 4.5% finished. Now, I wanted to show you this because she also has a picture of what the completed piece will look like. Okay. So here is what she has done so far. Can you even look at what the completed piece is going to look like, though? Oh my God. I can't wait to see that. I can't even imagine how many colors that is. I mean, holy hell. Yeah. Oh, today's Wordle. I got it in 3 guesses. The first guess, I had 1 letter. Second guess, I had 3 letters, but none of them in the right spot. And so I sat and I pondered and I pondered. Got it on the 3rd try. So let's go. Okay. Today's story is called Control Your Temper. I really like this one. There was once a little boy who had a very bad temper. His father decided to hand him a bag of nails and said that every time the boy lost his temper, he had to hammer a nail into the fence. On the first day, the boy hammered 37 nails into the fence. Okay. The boy gradually began to control his temper over the next few weeks, and the number of nails he was hammering into the fence slowly decreased. He discovered it was easier to control his temper than to hammer the nails into the fence. Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all. He told his father the news, and the father suggested that the boy should now pull out a nail every day he kept his temper under control. The days passed, and the young boy was finally able to tell his father that all the nails were gone. The father took his son by the hand and led him to the fence. "You have done well, my son," he said, "but look at the holes in the fence. The fence will never be the same. When you say things in anger, they leave a scar just like this one. You can put a knife in a man and draw it out. It won't matter how many times you say, 'I'm sorry,' the wound is still there." So the moral of the story: control your anger and don't say things to people in the heat of the moment that you may later regret. Some things in life you are unable to take back. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, another one that's easier said than done. But I love that analogy where, yeah, the fence is never going to be the same. It has a billion holes in it. Yeah, so we need to be careful with our words, right? Okay. How are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in this year of 2022? This is a long one. Okay. Many people adopt the positive philosophical approach of time is a great healer. There is truth in those words. Time presents you with an opportunity. The opportunity to work out and eventually settle on where this loss will be located for you. Will it nurture you? Perhaps it will cripple you. The good news is you have a say in that. And you know, it's funny that I read this one today because this morning when I was getting ready, I turned on a motivational video on YouTube. I will do that sometimes. And I don't know who the speaker was because it was like a compilation of a bunch of people. The guy said, the only two resources that everyone has in common in their life is time and change. And he said, really, your whole life is based on managing those things. So, and the way that he spoke about it really resonated in my head because he's like, you're not stopping time. And the way that your life is now is the product of how you have managed time in the past. And change, because it change constant, time constant. You're not, I mean, nobody wants change, right? We all want to stay the way things are. Not going to happen. If I remember, I'll link that motivational video that I listened to down below because I really liked that one. There are tons of them on YouTube. And what happens is I'll just go to YouTube, and once you watch something like that, they will constantly come up in your recommended feed. So that's what happens. And I just clicked on one and listened. And I always walk away from those videos with some little point of wisdom that I try to apply. I really love the speakers. Tony Robbins, Steve Harvey, Les Brown, even Denzel Washington, Matthew McConaughey. I mean, a bunch of stars even speak. Love Denzel Washington's speeches that he's given at colleges. They are just, because he came from nothing. And really has made, I mean, he's a fantastic, phenomenal actor. Okay, I'm babbling at this point. So, why I need prayers and good thoughts today. So we have been slow with work, and you know, we have like a core team, but everyone needs to work and everyone needs to make money. So our team, I talked to my boss and I was like, look, are you going to stay like this? What's going on? She's like, I know the firms are slow. It's just a slow period. So I messaged our team and we talked about it. And one of our team members took another case for the next 2 weeks, so she's unavailable. So we got a job for for today. The job came in yesterday and it came in kind of late. So our other team member is only available until the job starts at 11:30. She's only available until 1 p.m. That's it. Then it's me the rest of the day. Nobody else I contacted was available. And the problem becomes if we don't book in advance and I can lock these people down, if we get a job like, at 3 p.m. the day before for the next day, it's hard to find people because then they are booked with other people. So I started to put feelers out for next week, even because we have 2 jobs so far next week. So I think I have it covered except on Monday. But the issue with today is that the previous transcript, the previous deposition that was done in this case was 408 pages. I can't physically do 400 pages in a day myself. So I have tried to plan this to the hilt, meaning I'll get done whatever I can get done today because there's a rough draft at the end of the day, which means we have to send a rough, unedited. Usually we're editing it though, but we have to send a rough draft at the end of the day. And then whatever's not edited, I've already asked 2 people, can you help me edit on Thursday if she doesn't get a job for tomorrow? We don't have a job yet for tomorrow. So if we have a job for tomorrow, that's also where that comes into play, where it could be quite sticky and I'm trying to finish a job over the next 3 days in the midst of doing other jobs. So just say some prayers and good thoughts that today is not excessively long. If it's only 4 or 5 hours, I can handle that myself. No problem. I'll be working probably a little bit late, but it won't be something that is too arduous. So just say prayers and good thoughts that I can handle whatever comes today's job. Because like I said, we normally have 3 people working on a job in a day, and it's just going to be me after an hour and a half. So as always, I hope you guys enjoy and have a good Tuesday. No, today's Wednesday. Hope you have a good Wednesday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.